Hello, 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 Aries, and welcome to Queen Amun Ra's tarot reading for you today. This is a special reading for you, my Aries. Um, Again, this is an Aries. This is for my Aries. This is Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Speaking of Venus, Venus is in retrograde right now, so there are a lot of people that are thinking about next steps as it relates to their money, as it relates to relationships. Then we have other planets in retrograde where people are thinking about their inner freedom. People are reevaluating relationships, whether it be work relationship, home relationships. People are thinking about how they need to manifest stuff. So a lot of people are on their spiritual journey, with all of this quarantine time, you know what I mean, like with the COVID-19 and so on and so forth. And then also, like with the protests and things, which are triggers for some people. So a lot of people are just staying in. So let's get started with your reading, Aries. I want to see. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at you. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's get started, Aries. I'm excited for you. Let's see what the overall energy I'm getting for you. You've been through a lot, Aries. You have been through a lot, but this is going to be good for you. This reading is going to be good for you. Your have you ever heard the saying, Aries, that your attitude determines your altitude? Okay, look at this first card coming out, the Chariot card. See? See the victory, the elevation, and this is you. You are victorious. Like I said, you've been through a lot. Look at this 10 of Pentacles right here. Pentacles is for money. That's it represents your journey to money and wealth, but it is the earth signs. Pentacles or coins. I want to make sure you see. Pentacles or coins. That is the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you're stacking your money, Aries. This is what I'm getting here. You have been victorious over a lot of things because you've come through a lot of stuff, right? But look at these mountains below you. You're riding high above those mountains. You've been through a lot, Aries. You've been through a lot. Here's when I said your attitude determines your altitude. Okay, you're flying high because you've chosen your perspective. You've chosen to see the glass half full opposed to half empty. Some people, they face challenges and they just decide, what, screw it. I'm just going to float it. I don't think people intentionally decide that they're going to hover in a low frequency. But situations happen, things happen, perspective. I always say this, no matter how bad you think you're doing, there's someone who's doing worse. And when you put it in that perspective and you start to look around and be grateful for the fact that you have a roof over your head, you have food in your refrigerator, you have clothes on your back, even if that's at the bare minimum, you still have more than what some other people have. But it is because you chose to vibrate higher, Aries, is why you're here. Okay, that's why you're here, because you chose to vibrate higher. But moving backwards, there was a time, look at this 5 of Pentacles, where you were actually vibrating at a low frequency because you were getting frustrated sitting here. You were getting disappointed. You were like, okay, this is misfortune. I've been hearing that I'm going to get this money. I've been hearing that things are going to happen for me, and I just don't know when it's going to happen. So I'm going to sit here and just hold on to a glimmer of hope. I have this faith the size of a mustard seed. And that's why you have the half full and half empty, because it could change at any time. See, it's going this way, then coming back this way, this way, this way, this way. Like there's a thin line between floating high frequency and a low frequency. You decided at some point to turn things around in your mind and think, you know what, I'm going to fly at a higher frequency. Listen, this also says that like several things have been going on in your space. So this was an internal thing. Like you got to this chariot where you were you're flying high above the things, over those mountains, those things that would have tripped a lot of people up. So your money is here because you decided to change your perspective. So it's not by coincidence that this even in the middle, because there was a time where you were just like starting to float at a low frequency and start getting frustrated and like, but something inside of you held on to a little bit of hope and faith where you said, no matter what, I'm not leaving. There's something inside of me that's telling me that it's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but I'm real close. I just feel like I'm just really close. That was you, Aries. But here we go. The Queen of Swords. Okay, this is air energy. This is the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is represents your journey to power and intellect. Okay. You've been through some things, but you came through unscathed. So it seems like if people were to remove this clothing and remove, all of this, they would see the battle scars that you came through. They would see under this crown that there are some thorns in your head. They would see all of that. But you come through so gracefully. Like you've come through so gracefully, right? So there's two sides to this, right? So on one hand, you went through this period where your perspective had to change because you knew you were close to this vault opening, to everything that you wanted. But part of you was saying, I don't know when it's going to open, and look, the clock is ticking. But remember, the universe is not working on your time. It's the other way around. So you had to get in a whole different mindset and get into that place of like manifesting, but you had to get into a place of like meditating and quieting your mind. She's sitting here like meditating and thinking, like she seems very like focused on something, right? And that's what we do when we meditate. But look at this, the Ace of Swords. Look at this. Full clarity. You had a breakthrough. You have pure power, So what this is saying to me, what this is showing me is that you go through these cycles. You go through these cycles, Aries. And the cycle is that you have the power. You know that you're a queen. Like maybe your last name is Queen, or maybe it's you got married to somebody. I don't know, but you're a queen. But there are times when you hit a low point for whatever reason, but then the money comes and then you're soaring above the problems again, right? So you go through these cycles, which isn't like with most people, like go through cycles. But it's important perspective right here, this Five of Cups. It is so important that even when you're sitting at the door of uncertainty and doubt, and you feel like it's a misfortune, and it just feels like just weird energy. It's so important to keep your perspective high, like keep your energy like high spirits, being in high spirits. That's what I'm getting so far. Universe, please give me some more information about the Aries. More information about the Aries, specifically about Aries' love life, their financial situation, prospects in every area of their life, please. Universe, give me more information about the Aries. Okay, let's do the second part. Okay. Look at this. Okay, here we go. Judgment card. This is Scorpio. This card has come up quite a few times in special readings, but you had to take a long, hard look at yourself. Like really, really, really. Like, because this cycle like goes up and down and goes up and down, so much so that you're like, okay, what's the key to me staying like floating at a higher frequency? Like, what's the key to that? And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Aries, it is perspective, right? Aquarius slipped out for a reason. Like, nothing is by coincidence. It slipped out for a reason, and I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this judgment card, you have been judging yourself, like, but not necessarily a harsh judgment, but you've been like thinking about some things, like, what is it? What is this highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows? I don't know why I'm getting medication. I don't know who this is for, like highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows. I think, okay, let me put all this together. This is what the universe is telling me. Look at the swords. You have had to cut some people out of your life, Aries. You've had to cut some people out of you. You don't get to this point without some scars. People just can't see it. Like, on the outside, you look so graceful. You're waving your hand. You don't like the pageant wave. For the man, for the masculine energy, you kind of like, yeah, okay, hey. But you had to move through some mountains. But you got to a point where you had a breakthrough. Like, you cut some people out of your life, and it's like, okay, whew. And so you're reflecting, okay, that's the key. I got to get low vibrating energy out of my space. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key. That's the key. I got to keep my vibrations high. I got to keep my perspective high. Look at this. The Princess of Wands. Wands, again, represents spirituality and taking action. That's the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is you. This is you, Aries. You're creative. You have a spark inside of you, and you're free spirit. Like, look at her. She's just chilling. She has one leg rested up on her knee. Her opposite leg rested up on her knee. She's holding her wand. She has mountains behind her, not in front of her. She's come through a lot of stuff, but she's a free spirit. She's like ready to live her life on her terms. Look at this, the Eight of Swords. This goes again to perspective. All of this stuff is in your mind. This person has a blindfold on, and she has like some silk wrappings around her arms, but they're very loose, meaning that it's in your mind, and you have a clear path. You have all these swords around you. This is sword energy. This represents intellect and power. So you could easily shake those cords, those like silk cords, off your wrist, and you can also just snatch the blindfold off. But again, the mountains are behind you. You walk through these swords. You walk through these swords. That was your power and your intellect walking you through these swords. And look at this, the sun, mountains behind you. You're in a whole different headspace. Now that you got that perspective, you took that moment for a second. You kind of like, you forgot that you were a queen, right? You sat there and you were like, no, I can't leave right now because my promise is here. What's the key? The key is perspective, and turning that pessimist attitude to an optimistic or an optimist attitude, right? Okay, so now here you go, the sun. I'm telling you, Aries, like, the things that I want you guys to see this. This is a Leo card. Positive vibes. You're warm. You're radiant. Look at this. This right here is like you're receiving from the universe. These are like your little antennas. You're receiving knowledge from the universe. This is what you're doing, right? You're in your Zen moment. You're just like, okay, and receiving from the universe. What are you trying to tell me? And Leo is also a strength card. So you've come through a lot. Look, you've come through a lot. You've come through a lot. Oh my goodness. I didn't. Okay. Look, your strength card. You have a lot of strength. This is the Leo card. Amazing. You know, mountains behind you. Look how you coming through. You coming through like, okay, now I remember who the heck I am. Okay, this is how you came through. And look, Aquarius card, the Fool in an upright. The Fool in reverse would be exactly what the definition of a fool is. Reckless, making poor decision. But that's not you. You have a purity inside of you. You have this, you're radiating from the sun. You're kind of sort of on the edge. Like this is a diamond. I look at these as like diamonds. You like a diamond in the rough who remembered who you were, Aries. And look at you, a free spirit. You're happy. Look at this person right here, free spirit. You're happy. You're living life on your terms. You know, you're just carefree, but in a very innocent way, not in a reckless way where you're making poor decisions. You're just very carefree. And that's what I'm getting. This, there is, like I said, there's a lot of money, you know, the vault has opened for you because you changed your mindset, your perspective. You know, you're stacking your coins, your money, which is a lot of it. You're victorious. You took the time to judge yourself, like really judge yourself, like, okay, what did I do? Like, and you realize it was the pessimist attitude, and you decided to turn some things around and become who you were created to be. I think that's what a lot of people are learning while they're in quarantine, that people are just like answering the call on their lives. That's what I'm kind of sort of getting. Earlier, I accidentally, well, it wasn't even by accident, it just came out. Aquarius came out, right? Aquarius and Aries, that's an air sign and fire sign, actually fuel each other. Air fuels the fire, and you guys are very, very powerful together. Now, I'm not seeing Aquarius as a love. I'm seeing Aquarius is like in a friendship kind of way. That's what I'm kind of seeing, like Aquarius in a friendship kind of way. Like you guys really enhance each other. Like that person fans your flames. Like you're a person that takes action. You're on your spiritual journey, but you're realizing that Aquarius in your life had a lot of power and intellect, and so they were able to match your energy perfectly, whatever that energy was. When you were vibrating low, they could fan those flames and you would get hotter. But when you vibrate higher, they can fan those flames, and also like they were that loyal friend to you, if that makes any sense to you. And when you change your perspective, they came out again. It came out again. Even, okay, I think I remember saying something about the Scorpio and Aries in another reading, I think. Even there's a Scorpio in your life, and again, this is not a love interest. These are just like friendships. There's even a Scorpio in your life that is now vibrating higher and is not seeing you as competition. Like you guys, your relationship is on balance. Like, because your perspective is different. Like Scorpio, I think they also had to go in and look at themselves and judge themselves too. But that's what I'm getting here, is that it's not necessarily about a love relationship. I'm not getting that at all from the cards. I'm getting like friendships though. That's what I'm getting for you, Aries. Friendships. Okay, let's look at the oracle cards. Let me pull the oracle cards and see like what they say. All right, what's this say? What is this? Surrender to the divine. Full moon. Surrender to the divine. Wow. Surrender to the divine. I mean, I don't know what else I could say, necessarily to that. But you, Aries, instead of going through like these up and down emotions and up and down and up and down and up and down, I don't see you going through that anymore. I really don't. I see you having some time to really, really reflect, on some things, and and coming through this just a different person, like not going through the ups and downs anymore. That's not what I see for you. I see for you that you have completely surrendered to a deity. So what I mean by that is, depending on your religion, if you're a Christian or a Jew, if you practice Judaism, or Muslim, whoever your deity is, you completely surrendering to that. So let's say if you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible and the, Jesus Christ being your Savior, you have gone inward during this time of reflection, and you have decided, I need to take a long, hard look at some things, including myself. I need to change my perspective because I have all this money at my disposal. I have these quality people around me, but I am too moved by things around me, per se, instead of, like, when you know that you know that you know, you're like a tree that's planted that can't be uprooted. Like, you ever see a tree, like you can have a hurricane, houses blown over, cars flipped over, the whole thing, but that tree isn't moving. And I think that's what you found, Aries, in your time of reflection. Like, I think that's what you found. You found that, you know what, I'm just going to be the good person that I am. And anything that doesn't belong in my life is just going to blow away anyway. But I'm just going to be the good person that I am. I'm going to remain optimistic because I already know what I have. I have the wealth. I have good people around me. I have there's no lack in my life. I just have to keep my perspective with the glass half full. That's what I'm getting for you. Let me put one more oracle card. I want to see something. That's what I'm getting for you, Aries. Because Aries are really nice people. They're pretty fiery. They're fun to be around. Like, they kind of sort of just, they're free spirits. Serenity. Okay, white, divine light. Okay, let me read this. This says, in divine light, you overflow with love. You carry the sacred arrows that teach you about the clouds so full of water that the rain comes like droplets of wisdom into the into your sea of consciousness, and you begin to learn. That's that introspection. That's that reflection, looking at yourself in the mirror. I'm talking about inside. The sacred flute carries your prayers of love and all the symbols of treasured peoples, and dreams reflect upon you with the light of the great sun. You are a sacred lover full of fragrance, and the wind comes to spread your perfume across the land. You stand before the Great Spirit in a state of grace. Name your darkness, that sad quality that you have held, and as you call it by name, feel it begin to disappear. See? That was the darkness that you were in, but that was that fine line between the glass being half full and the glass being half empty. That was you. Okay, and call it by name, feel it begin to disappear. You hold on to your faith the same way that you grip your arrows of destiny. You are not meant to live in darkness, but in the light. Oh my gosh, look, you're meant to live in the light. Meant to live in the light, of your own integrity. Move with the flow of life and let go of any sadness from your earlier years. Be serene and at ease as the light begins to define you. Look at this Chariot card. Up, up, and up. You flew over all the mountains, your past, the things that hurt you, the people that tried to hurt you, all those things. You have some good quality people around you. And I'm telling you, I keep getting Aquarius. I keep getting Aquarius for this because I'm seeing the swords. I'm seeing this Fool card, which is an Aquarius card. You have the strength inside of you. But you have done the work. You have done the work. You have changed your perspective. So never again are you going to be sitting at this vault. And even if you do sit at this vault, your perspective is, you're such an optimist at this point that your perspective is, I'm not leaving because I know I was promised something. So there's no reason for me to leave. I'm just going to camp out here because I'm so close. I already know it's going to open like soon. So that's your perspective now, Aquarius. So you changed your attitude, and your altitude is this. Like, you really have nothing to worry about. And like I said, there's a Scorpio and there's an Aquarius somewhere in your space. With the Scorpio, they have done the work on the inside too. You guys don't see each other as competition, and you start to build a brand new relationship. And then with the Aquarius, they've always kind of sort of been there. Now it's time to look back and say, you know what, I really appreciated that friendship. I really appreciated that person. But that's what I'm getting for you, Aries. This is a great reading. I mean, wow. I'm telling you, a lot of people have gone in took almost like hermit mode and really benefited from this COVID-19. You know, of course you have people that are complaining, oh gosh, I gotta stay in, I gotta distance myself from people, I gotta do this, that, and the other. But you took this time. At first, for you, it was kind of an adjustment for you, Aries. But as time went on, and these planets being in retrograde, and now we have the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and you thinking, like, reflecting on just a lot of things, you came out like the fireball that you are, and you have just a whole new perspective. Like, never again are you allowing things to get you down. Never again. You're like, you know what? I'm going to stay planted, the tree. I'm a free spirit. I'm usually happy. And I'm, you know, all these wonderful things happening around me. Whoever flies in my life, they can fly in my life. If they fly out, that's okay too. But I'm going to stay like this tree planted. And I'm just going to be who I was called to be, which is a happy, free spirit, living life on my terms. I have the money. I have all the things. I have the wealth. I have the money. I have my spirituality intact. You know, and I'm taking action. I'm really taking the reins on my life, just like on that Chariot card. So I'm so happy for you, Aries. You know, again, you guys have beautiful spirits, and you are flying at a high vibration. That's where your frequency is, at a high vibration. So that's a wonderful thing. So thank you so much for joining me, Aries. And even my cross watchers, thank you. Welcome. And thank you for supporting my channel. But again, this has been for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and any cross watchers who want to share this information. If you like this video, if it resonated with you at all, please like the video. Please share the video with other people that you know who are in this Zodiac sign, and please subscribe. You know, I love seeing the comments. I love reading the feedback. And if there's any special readings that you guys want me to do, please let me know. But again, I hope this resonates with you or someone you know. Have a great day.